She went into labor alone. She had no job, no savings, and 2 daughters to feed. And the first thing she did when she left the hospital was buy pillows. This is not a story about luck. This is not a story about the right moment or the right connections or the right circumstances. This is a story about a woman who had everything taken from her, her savings, her job, her partner, and decided in the middle of all of it to build something anyway. By the time she was 45, she had her own factory, her own e-commerce, and a team of people she had lifted up along the way. She started with a handful of pillows and a door to knock on. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how she did it and what every single parent watching this can learn from her story. Stay with me.
Sarah was 25 years old when her world collapsed in a single week. She had been working double shifts at an auto parts factory, pregnant with her second daughter. Her first, just 3 years old, was being looked after by a neighbor, the only person she could count on. Her husband had left when he found out about the second pregnancy. And when he left, he took everything in their savings account, an account that wasn't in her name, an account she had trusted him with completely. Gone in a single withdrawal. Everything they had built together. The factory had no benefits, no maternity leave, no contract that protected her. So she kept working. Double shifts, through the exhaustion, through the fear, through the weight of carrying a child while carrying everything else alone. One afternoon, she felt the first contractions. She didn't tell anyone. She clocked out, walked to her car, and drove herself to the hospital.
Her second daughter was born healthy, beautiful, perfect. And then the hospital bill arrived. When she was ready to go back to work, a few days later, because she had no choice, she called the factory. They told her she had been let go. Abandonment of post. No benefits, no contract, nothing to protect her. They gave her the days she had worked and a payment so small, it was almost an insult. She sat in that hospital room with a newborn on her chest, a 3-year-old waiting at home, a bill she couldn't pay, and no income. And she made a decision. Most people in that moment would have waited for someone to help. Sarah didn't wait. What she did next with the little money she had, most people would have never thought of. And it changed everything. Keep watching. She took the compensation the factory had given her, every last dollar of it, and she bought pillows. Not to sleep on, to sell. But she didn't just sell pillows. She did something that nobody else on the street was doing. She added a design to the cover, a personal touch, something that made each one feel like it had been made specifically for the person buying it. She went door to door, knocked on every door in her neighborhood, explained what she had, showed them the design, and sold. The first one sold faster than she expected. The first thing she did with that money, before buying more inventory, before anything, was call the hospital and negotiate a payment plan, a structured agreement, a commitment she could honor. Then, she bought more pillows, more fabric, more materials, and she went back to knocking on doors. People started asking for custom designs, a specific color, a specific pattern, something for a wedding, something for a baby shower, and she quoted them accordingly. Not the price of a generic pillow, but the price of something made with intention. She worked during the day while her neighbor watched her daughters. She worked at night after they were asleep. She didn't sleep much, but she was building something. And she could see it, slowly, dollar by dollar, taking shape. Here's the first financial principle Sarah was applying, without knowing its name: reinvestment. Every time money came in, she made the same decision. Cover the essential obligations first, then put the rest back into the business. Not into comfort, not into relief, back into growth. This is the single most powerful habit of every sustainable small business. Not the size of the initial investment, the discipline of putting the returns back to work. She started with pillows. She could have stopped at pillows, but she kept asking, where can I put this dollar so it comes back as 2? But the pillows were just the beginning. What she figured out next, about materials, about margins, about people, is what turned a door-to-door operation into something nobody saw coming. That's right after this. She noticed something about her costs that most people in her situation would have overlooked. The materials were eating into her margin. So she found a supplier, cut out the middleman, bought directly. Her profit per unit doubled. But instead of spending that extra margin, she invested it. More materials, better equipment, more capacity. Her neighbor, the woman who had watched her daughters through everything, started helping with the designs. Sarah taught her everything she knew, and suddenly, production doubled. Then came a third person, then a fourth, then 10. Her house wasn't big enough anymore. She rented a space, built a website, started taking orders online. And the business that had started with a handful of pillows and a door to knock on became a real operation. Pillows, sheets, quilts, curtains, tablecloths, everything for the home. She moved her family to a nicer house. Not an extravagant one, a comfortable one. Because she understood something that many people forget when money starts coming in. The goal was never to look successful. The goal was to be stable. She showed her daughters the same thing her own life had taught her, that what you have is worth more when you don't need to show it off. Her employees had contracts, benefits, medical insurance, maternity leave, something she herself had never had. Because she remembered what it felt like to have none of those things, and she decided that nobody who worked for her would ever feel that way. What Sarah was doing, intuitively, without a business degree, is what every successful entrepreneur eventually learns. Margin is everything. The difference between what something costs you and what you sell it for is not just profit, it's your capacity to grow. She protected her margin obsessively, not by raising prices first, by reducing costs first, buying direct, eliminating waste, doing more with less. And then, critically, she invested in people before she invested in things. Her neighbor wasn't just an employee, she was a partner in everything but name. And that loyalty, built in the hardest moments, became the foundation of a culture that made her business survive things that destroy most small companies. The financial lesson? Your team is your most important asset. Treat them like it, especially when you're small enough that each person truly matters.
20 years after he left, after the savings account, after the hospital, after the factory, after all of it, he came back. He had heard what she had built, and he came to see it for himself. I won't pretend to know exactly what he said, but I know what she told him. She looked at him and said, "Thank you for giving me my daughters. And thank you for leaving. Because the day you walked out is the reason I'm standing here today. I forgive you. If our daughters want you in their lives, that door is open. But in mine, there is no door for you." She was 45 years old when she said that. Her daughters, both in university, both building their own lives, were watching. And in that moment, I think she gave them the most important lesson of all. That dignity is not something you earn when things go well. It's something you build, slowly and deliberately,
through every hard decision you make when things are falling apart. She had been falling apart at 25.
At 45, she was the most put-together person in the room. Not because life had been kind to her, because she had been disciplined with what life had given her, even when what life gave her was loss. If you're a single parent right now, in the middle of your own version of that hospital room, that empty savings account, that door that just closed, I want you to hear this. Sarah didn't have a plan. She had pillows and a neighbor and a decision to not give up. That was enough to start. Subscribe if you want more stories like this one. Every video on this channel, we talk about the real financial challenges of raising a family alone, with real strategies and real people who made it through. Leave a comment below. What's the one decision you made in your hardest moment that you're most proud of? I read every single one. And next video, we're going back to the basics. If Sarah's story taught us anything, it's that financial education doesn't have to come from a classroom. Next video, the one number every single parent needs to know, and most don't. See you then.